Tonight on the Best Friends Quackcast, we chat about nationals, worlds, and how much we love lunch. We also have a special announcement for the NPA. Stay tuned, you're entering the Best Friend Zone. Whenever you're listening to this, everyone, welcome to the Best Friends Quackcast featuring Cybertron. I am Paul, aka Makiri, and with me is Hui.
Hey.
And Aaron Cybertron Zhang.
Hi, guys.
So, let's just jump right in here. We got USA Nationals. It was a big tournament. I think the biggest turnout we've had. Guy, is that right?
Pretty sure it is. Yeah.
Biggest nationals we've had. Yep.
So, of course, no more LCQs or anything like that. We got those buys from regionals and top 16 from CP. It was a big tournament, and we all enjoyed it. I went 6-3 and bubbled at 36. I had a pretty tough road. I played people like Fish and Winston Chan. And my last round against Cypher, he knew my team already because he played Danny, who had the same exact team as me. And that wasn't very fun, so I ended up bubbling. Wish I could have done better, but it is what it is. Aaron, how'd you do?
I went 7-2 and made top cut. Made it past the first round, but I lost to Dimitri in the top 16 after a very heartbreaking set. But I was pleased because I started the day off 2-2, and so I had to win 5 games in a row just to even make top cut. So making it that far was, I was happy with it, and I got my invitation to Worlds, so that was the most important thing.
Yeah, that's I think you did well, especially after that rough start.
Yeah.
It's tough to dig out of those. What do you think about your first year in Masters for the Nationals?
I mean, I don't think it was really any different from seniors because, I've had to play more games. And really in 2010, I had to play with all the older kids anyway. But that year I bubbled out at 17, so I was happy enough just making top cut this time around.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah.
how'd you do?
I went 5-4, and I ended up either somewhere between 100 and 200 place, and it wasn't a very good tournament for me.
So was it the team decision or
I
just
think it was a little bit of
matchups?
both. I went with a Star Raptor, and I guess I ran into a lot of ghosts, so I didn't get to final gambit anything, and it wasn't very good.
All right. So can't win them all, and you'll obviously always be back and hopefully cut again.
Someday.
Yeah. So we have the winners of each division. Gavin comes from California, the first, I guess, non-Midwest to, I guess
Omega
Omega
Donut.
Donut won. Yeah. So, we got the West Coast representing, and finally California takes a Nationals champion. And, good job to Gavin. I don't think anybody really predicted that. Did you guys see that coming?
Nope, not at all. Especially after how poor his season started this year.
Well, I don't even think he had a really terrible season. He was the highest 7-2 or whatever to not cut the regional.
Yeah, he just bubbled out of pretty much everything. He came to Massachusetts and didn't get his bye like he was supposed to, and just went on tilt and lost 3 games or something like that.
Yeah, and I think he had one of the highest opponents winning percentage ever, and managed to bubble out of NorCal. So,
yeah.
Good job for him, and especially his opponent Enosh. They played a crazy game. What do you guys think about that mega horn onto Obama Snow?
That was nuts. I was jumping out my seat. I was screaming.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have even seen the play for myself to try that.
Yeah, it was nice play by Enosh there, but of course, Gavin takes it.
Mm-hmm.
And the seniors, we have Paul, not me, but a different Paul won. I actually didn't get to see this because I had to take Maylee to my hotel, my sister. So what do you guys think of the finals match there?
I loved it. I thought it was a really well played set, especially because Paul's opponent, what's his name, Dingram, he was basically on top of his predictions for the first few turns. Like he predicted every single one of Paul's protects, and he just had such a huge lead. And Paul just played really well the entire time, and just managed to get the momentum on his side and still take the set 2-0. And I was really pleased to watch that because he's a great player. And then, the only reason he lost last year was because I had to stop him. So I was happy to see him win.
Yeah, I thought it was a great set. It was probably one up there with uh, 2010 World's Junior Finals as one of my favorite sets.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, they just played really solid games on both their parts. Clean matches, good predictions, and the shame that Dingram just didn't have enough offense to pull it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and the winner of juniors is Bo, who beat my sister Maylee in the finals in the only three set match in the finals. And
oh yeah, that's right.
I think Maylee blitzed him out really quickly with that first game, and then he he was a good. I mean, he showed prediction level and adjustment level that you don't normally see in juniors, and he completely adjusted and just dominated the last two games and take the championship.
Yeah, he did a great job, and that game 3 was kind of hard to watch just because it was like an exact repeat of game 2. But I give him a lot of credit. He's a good kid, and we talk about this a lot, but he's one of the few juniors that really don't have any siblings or anyone to really practice with, and he's done it all by himself, and it's really impressive to watch him, take it go all the way. And I'm interested in seeing how he'll do at Worlds, but I have no doubt he'll do well.
Yeah, I think he's going to do well, and if that finals best of 3 is any indication, he should be maybe in the finals at least top cut at Worlds, I believe.
I agree.
And so we went over the winners, and we like to give feedback on every tournament, and this nationals isn't any different. Is there any immediate feedback that you guys want to give about nationals?
In terms of Pokemon, it was probably the best run nationals I've been to. There was a large top cut, which they gave us at top 32. Somehow they made it to a nice round thing where they cut off exactly between 7-2 and 6-3, which was really cool. And
yeah, I thought that they would, I calculated out, maybe they gave us the wrong numbers, that 1-6-3 would make it, but I'm not sure what happened. So, all the 7-2s cutting is a great thing there because you have an idea, there's not going to be any opponent's winning percentage stuff, in the mix. And the non-simultaneous finals, everyone finally got to see the juniors and seniors play and just focus on the masters. And of course, the commentary from Evan and Scott really boosted the feel for those non-simultaneous finals.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen, but Jay Witt's one of the most popular, Pokemon entertainers on YouTube. He uploaded all 3 finals onto YouTube, and they all over have like 100,000 views already, and it's only been 2 weeks since Nationals ended, and that's just really good. It's good coverage for our game, and it's a good way for our game to grow even more and spread, just competitive VGC playouts. So I'm really happy to see that, and we watched, 3 of the best finals I could really ask for in each division, so I was really happy about that.
Yep, completely agree, and maybe we will agree here, but as a fat guy, I was kind of annoyed there's no lunch.
I prefer large.
That was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I like to have lunch, and they're flip flopping between maybe we'll have lunch, maybe we won't have lunch, and so eventually I ended up paying like $10 for a hot dog. It tied me over.
That you had to eat in like 20 seconds.
Yeah, so I mean.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we started. I know we were delayed a good amount. I feel like it was like an hour or so, and after all that, they were like, we just want to get through these 9 rounds, and this goes on because whoever made top cut had to play through top 32 and top 16. So I was playing the entire day, and by the time I was in top 16, I was just dead exhausted. I was starving, hadn't had any food, nothing really to drink, and there's a lot of Pokemon. But hey, it's set up for the non-simultaneous final, so I'm really happy that it worked out for the greater good.
Yeah, I mean that you got the 9 rounds of Swiss and then 2 extra rounds, which are best of 3. That's just rough. I can't even imagine.
Up to 15 games in the whole day.
Yeah, that's crazy. But overall, I mean, I was impressed with how it was run and excited for what the future brings.
Like, yeah, this was definitely a step in the right direction.
Exactly.
And now we'll finish off that USA Nationals and go right into the Invitational. I guess you could say it's our premier tournament besides the major. We lead into it with all the live tournaments, the majors, and non-live tournaments. And the top 16 got their invites to our version of Worlds, I guess. And Mr. Bopper came out the champion. His team is on site, and of course, I think we have videos on YouTube or at least Twitch of the commentary and all those videos that we saw. Aaron, you're the main player here who played in all the live tournaments and all that. How did our circuit prepare you for the TPCI circuit?
I think it definitely prepared me a lot, and I really enjoyed it. I think it's really nice to have these online tournaments, and I know, especially for the last regionals in April, I there was one big Swiss tournament the day before, and I ended up winning that live tournament. It gave me a lot of confidence going into into regionals, and yeah, I just really like having weekly tournaments to practice with, and throw a team together and just kind of get a feel of what you want to do, or play a team that you're maybe more comfortable with and something that you might want to bring on for the future rounds at real life events. But overall, I just really like having the whole circuit go on.
Yeah, even though you played in the Invitational, were there, any things that came out that, surprised you, or like how did you think about Bopper's team?
I thought I mean, obviously we saw like he had Dragon Dance on both his Tyranitar and Gyarados, and that's something that is not very common. I know Wolfie used Dragon Dance Tyranitar back in 2012, but that's something like kind of people don't really talk about as much because he really only used it in one set. But I was impressed. I actually played Bopper in the first round of the Invitational last time, and I knocked him out right away. So I knew he was a good enough opponent to make it all the way, and I was happy to watch him play the finals because I actually really enjoyed that set.
All right. Well, is there any feedback you have for, the Invitational and the circuit total, all encompassingly?
Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely like the system we have right now. I think 16 really nice, players got in. I like how you can either play, throughout the whole circuit, or you can do really well in just the major and make it in. And I'm glad that, you guys can stream and cover because that definitely went really well. And I think we chose a better time this time than the last time we did it, because last time I think it was on like a school night, and Wolfie and I were playing in the finals, and it was like 11:30, and we both just wanted to go to sleep. But this time, we had a lot more time for everyone to watch and enjoy the games.
Yeah, so, big thanks to everyone who did participate. I said this during the streaming, commentating, just thanks for playing, and, continue to play. We all enjoy it, and we do it for you, so take advantage of what we're trying to give you. Hui, you haven't said much. You got anything on Invitational?
I wasn't there for most of it, so just. Yeah.
What a bum! I don't even want to. We have you here.
I didn't even watch my own brother commentate.
All right. Well, let's go right into the main event here. Basically, the culmination of our entire season, Worlds. Aaron, you got an invite. How's that feel?
It definitely feels good being the youngest master to get an invite this year. I definitely put a lot of effort working into this season, and I'm glad it worked out getting another Worlds invite. But the main picture is how I do there. So I've been training hard. We'll see.
All right. So I look forward to a good run from you, especially because our younger generation looks up to you, and we want to see you do well.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Another year of LCQ.
Yeah, Hui and I have to LCQ, and you're no stranger to that, Hui. You got any tips for anyone?
Win battles.
Especially me. I'm not very good at the LCQ.
Well, I had one in 2011. I got knocked out in the first round, and then.
You did make it all the way last year.
The best of 3 format actually really helps. You have a better shot at just not getting completely lucked out, and you have some time to gather some intel and just adjust.
All right, well,
I don't know.
Hui's tips brought to you by Huiha here. Hopefully, we see some good players coming out of the LCQ to match up with the rest of the world's field.
There's a ton of players coming for the LCQ.
Yeah, a ton of players coming. I think Danny said about 20 Japanese players are coming.
On top of
There's more,
I guess
really.
the 40 really capable USA masters.
Yeah, so it's going to be rough. So hopefully we see some good players come out of there and a good tournament at least. And
definitely.
the world site has been up for I think a couple weeks now. The art is always a hot topic. What do you guys think about the art this year?
I personally love the art. It's actually my work computer's background right now, and I love the whole generational totem pole thing, and the fact that
Yeah, that was a nice touch. I didn't even notice that until someone pointed it out.
the fact that Ho-Oh's on it and Smeargle, that makes it much better.
Yeah, I love Smeargle, and it's always good to see him on there.
Yep.
I a lot of people they're like, wait, what does Vancouver have to do with Indians or Native Americans? And it's really funny because I think British Columbia has a really deep, rich history from Native Americans, and I think they picked a nice touch there. And
Yeah,
we'll
I
see.
loved it.
I don't think it's gonna be tropical beach anymore, but hopefully they give us a neat looking promo card out of that.
It has to have totem poles though.
Yeah, I have high expectations for it.
Like
I mean,
I'm
the
excited
artwork
for the
is
plushies and
fantastic.
the binders and stuff too.
Yeah, the
Yeah, me
plushies and
too.
all that art,
Definitely.
it should look good.
Yeah.
And they also announced I guess, the world's exclusive giveaway Pokemon, which is a Smeargle you can use to catch stuff. Usually it's been like a competitive thing.
And then there
I
was
mean,
Pikachu last year.
yeah, like uh, I mean, I really adore Smeargle. It's my favorite Pokemon, but I don't know what they could have done something there. Just a weird thing they did there.
Yeah, I was hoping for Conkeldurr actually, but no dice there.
Or at least,
Yeah,
a
But I don't mind it.
competitive
the,
Smeargle.
the special move stuff on Smeargle it doesn't really exist because it gets sketch. So I don't know what to say. Like
You
you
just
can do
gotta
anything.
program in like a super special move just for Smeargle.
Yeah, I mean, I would have
Uh,
liked it, with some really weird move set, but I guess the catching stuff works, and I doubt it will have Moody, so we'll see.
yeah.
Uh,
Hey, it's free stuff. I don't mind it.
In a Cherish Ball.
oh yeah,
That's
wait,
the best ball.
and going off of that, Nugget Bridge will hopefully have a ton of media. We're gonna take pictures, stream, hopefully, and maybe some interviews. A lot of that is still up in the air. Depends on what kind of access they give us there. So just stay tuned. Hopefully, we have stuff going on for you
Yep.
to see,
We'll,
especially those of you that can't make it.
we'll do our best.
All right, and with the big tournaments, we always have predictions. Hui, what kind of predictions are you going to give us for Worlds?
I have, I guess, 3 or 4 players I'm looking at to do really well. My dark horse pick is actually Ben Kiriakou. Um, he was at Worlds last year. He didn't do very well, but I feel like he's gotten a lot better like throughout the year. And I got to watch
Yeah.
his match. I think it was the UK Nationals. He's actually a very strong player now, and I hope to see him do very well.
All right.
I have for the rest of the people, I have Steven Morioka, who's had a really strong season. He's been there for like forever, and I think this is just his year. I feel it. Kamal
Yeah.
Frog, he's really consistent. He's a smart player. He makes his adjustments, and I just think it's about time he had like a decent showing at a Worlds.
Yeah. Those are all really strong players. Um, I mean, I really agree with you on Steven. He's just been doing outstanding this year. I think only second to Zach in terms of regional finishes. And yeah, like you said, this may be his year. And I think Randy, it's also kind of his year too because it's in Canada and there may be a lot of like stress and all that on him because it is Canada and he's the only confirmed Canadian playing in Worlds. But he's going to do either really good or really bad. Hopefully, really good because he deserves it after all the years he's played. Just like Steven, he's been there since the beginning. In that Emerald tournament back in 2005.
Yeah.
And I also think Maddie will do really well. He got second in 2011, and he's always a really consistent player, and I think he's the best European. It's time for him to step it up and maybe get that win over everyone else at Worlds and the first European win. And of course, you always got to mention Ray. It's his only tournament he has to play and take seriously every year, but he takes it so seriously, and he you never know what he's going to do. Like last year, he just absolutely dominated the competition, and you could expect more of the same from him because he's Ray Rizzo.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Aaron, you got any predictions you got?
Yeah, okay, I guess I'll start off with Wolfie because, he's also been one of the most consistent players. Second at Worlds last year, top 8 in 2011, losing to Ray both times. He went to a bunch of tournaments this year, but kind of just to try gimmicky things out, but I'm sure he's told me he's been training for this tournament the whole year, so I'm personally very interested in seeing what he brings out, and I'm sure he'll after coming so close the last 2 years, he really wants that win. I also have Trista up there. I know Trista's also been around for a long time. She got another invite this year after getting one in 2011 and bubbling out there. And, she's always been a really good player, so I'm really interested in seeing how she does. And I think her season has been, she hasn't really had any big wins this season, but she's stayed on top of the CP rankings. So from that, she got her invite. And of course, Japanese national champion Ryo Suki, I think a lot of people are expecting him to do well just because, he's one of the two players representing Japan. And I think he definitely looked a lot stronger than the guy who got second in the finals earlier a couple months ago. And I really like this team. So, I'm interested in seeing what he'll bring. And I think he'll maybe have something like Junpei's performance last year with at least making top 8. And my last pick is a European, Flash, also known as Abel. Last year, he got top 4, losing to Wolfie. And yeah, I know he's a really good player. I know he had a lot of bad luck previous to last year in terms of making it to Worlds, but last year was his first year, and he showed that he can play. And he got second at UK Nationals, losing to Ben in the finals. And I'm just happy to see him back, just because you always want the best players there. And he's probably Spain's best player after since Ruben's not around anymore. So he definitely has a lot of pressure to represent his country.
Aaron, what do you think of Sajin? He's someone I want to pick, but
Sajin?
Yep. He's someone I want to pick.
Yeah.
I guess I don't see enough of him because I'm not as on top of things as you are.
Personally, I think Sajin, he's one of my picks to really win the whole tournament, just because I think in 2011 his second place finish was kind of like a Cinderella run. No one really knew him that well. But last year I watched some of the games he played, and there was just one game against Wolfie where he literally outread him every turn, and I was like, he's serious about this. And Sejun plays in like every online tournament like ever, and I know he won the recent Ubers tournament, and he's just like so on top of his Pokemon skills, and I don't know, I have a lot of expectations on him going into this.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Korean Nationals. You either used a Sejun team or you countered a Sejun team, and he's just such a dominating force over there. He still won it all, so yeah,
he's definitely Korea's best player.
Yeah, I expect good things from him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, well, again, like I said, look forward to World's coverage coming this week. Hopefully you're listening to this before Worlds, and that wasn't all just a bunch of wrong information. Or right. We could be completely right. So, yeah, stay tuned. And now we got a special treat for you guys. We're going to announce the National Pokemon Association, otherwise known as the NPA, managers. Yeah. Most of them have been told privately, but you're listening to this the first time the public will know. And I, of course, am leading the Mistralton Jets. Hopefully the best team, going to win it all. Smith, going to be the Goldenrod rollout. And our very own Hui.
Woo!
Hui, who are you going to be?
The Castelia Cones.
That's a strong name. I like it. And Feathers will be the Falibor Flames. And, of course, some of these names are going to be up in the air. People may change them. They're not set in stone. Ray is going to be the Infuego Ironworks, possibly. We'll see. Because, Infuego is managing. So, That's up in the air. Unreality has another up in the air name, the Heathrow Poffins. Interesting name. And of course, Pretty Little Liar, also known as Fuego. The Florama Honey Gatherers.
That's my favorite one.
I'm sure the name Dewey enjoys. And Dr. Fidget, he's going to be the second team in Goldenrod because Goldenrod is such a huge city. They can support two teams just like LA and the Lakers and Clippers. Be the Goldenrod Gamblers. I really like that name. And Tan is going to be the Celestic Stars. Zach, I really like this name too, the Fortree Brave Birds. It's got a strong feel, really brave.
Need some bravery in there.
Yeah, there better be. I'm going to be mad as an American. Speaking of American team, the name Seafoam Islanders. Got a hockey feel going there. And, the Islanders aren't very good.
Did they make the playoffs?
I think they did, actually.
They did, yeah. They did.
Maybe Tad will continue that long-standing winning tradition from the Islanders. And the final team, we're only going with 12 teams this year. Talking Lion will be managing the Fuchsia Ninjas.
Foo.
All right.
Strong teams, strong managers. Look forward to the season. Player signups will be going up really soon, or they're already up, depending when you listen to this. So, Aaron, you're not managing, so I assume you're going to play?
Oh, yeah. I'm so excited for MPA.
What's your favorite part about MPA?
I think definitely just being on a team with other people. I think it definitely helps. It helps you really go into the community and just make new friends, and it really bonds everyone together. And I also like the winning part, so hopefully the team I'll be on will be taking the title home, but we'll see about that.
You didn't do much winning the last NPA, though.
Yeah, that was well, I'd like to not talk about that one.
All right, well, as we said, player signups should be up soon, or already up. So, follow the front page of Nugget Bridge, or follow Twitter, Nugget Bridge, at Nugget Bridge. We'll have all the information there, usually. And you can follow me at Makiri, PKMN. You can follow Hui at
Wienasaur.
And you can follow Aaron Cybertron Zhang at
Cybertron VGC.
All right, and twitch.com/NuggetBridge. We're always streaming something. Hopefully we'll be streaming a lot of NPA this year, and possibly Worlds, if you're listening to this before Worlds. And, of course, Facebook.com/TheNuggetBridge. Make sure you get that the. And anything else, guys?
Good luck to everyone at World, and if you're at home, hopefully you can make it some other time.
Yeah, and I failed to mention earlier, but if you see us at a tournament, come say hi. Don't be scared. We won't bite.
And make sure to tell us who you are, because nothing's more annoying than someone coming up to us saying, "Hey, are you blank?" and then just walking off.
Yeah.
And I always love to see those Nugget Bridge shirts. If you're wearing one, I'm going to come and say hi. So you better wear one so I can say hi. And, I like to finish off with something, not funny, but a touch from last year's Worlds. Beautiful people, beautiful Pokemon.
That's deep, man.
This has been a Nugget Bridge Radio Network production. For more information about our podcasts and in-depth analysis of the VGC circuit, visit www.nuggetbridge.com.
Cut and print.
Cut.